Hallå ja, god jul! God fortsättning. Gott slut. Hi, I'm Maja. You can find me as sjomajlin on Instagram and Ravelry. Today is Saturday the 26th of December. And I'm coming to you from Jönköping, Sweden again. So hi, how are you? I hope you've had a lovely Christmas for those of you who celebrate Christmas. And any sort of holiday for, you know what I mean, right? It's from the heart, no matter what you celebrate or don't celebrate. I missed you guys last week. 2 weeks ago I said, I'm gonna continue recording over the holidays, don't worry. And then last week I did post a little post in the Ravelry group giving a little bit of an explanation. I caught a bug. I was on antibiotics, so I was I'm doing good, I'm all better now, and I was pretty much okay at that point as well. But I was extra tired, and with the last, sort of rush to get done with work for the year, and with very little daylight. And also I was completely monogamous with this one knitting project that I will show you for a week and a half. So I didn't have a lot to show, and it just didn't work out. So I hope you'll forgive me for that. So yes, for a little bit of a roundup, it's been 2 weeks then, as I said. This week, so this is Saturday, as I said. Excuse me. Here in Sweden we do celebrate Christmas Eve. That's the big day here. And then, well, in these modern days, when parents are not always still married, and maybe even grandparents aren't, and the younger couples get together and they might have, both of their parents, of the grandparents, and there might be a lot of Christmas parties to go to. So obviously some people do celebrate Christmas on Christmas Day as well. And, in all of these, like the 12 days of Christmas. Excuse me. But it is Christmas Eve that is the big deal over here. So this week I did work Monday, Tuesday. On Monday we had like staff meeting day, and I got to sing some Christmas songs with my colleagues, and we had a really good time. And then on Tuesday I was in at work to just, finish stuff, get stuff into the computer system and just get it done. And then I had Wednesday off, and then it was Christmas Eve. And so the week before that, excuse me. The cough is all better, really. It's just that I've been sleeping late today. So the week before, me and my colleague, we were having all these different places to go and sing Christmas songs, and had a good time doing that. But it is a bit stressful. And on Monday, when we were gonna do, sort of the last push on our Christmas songbook, it was like, feels good that this is the last time, because you do get tired of the Christmas songs. But I think that is sort of part of it, though. It wouldn't feel right if I wasn't sick and tired of the Christmas songs by Christmas. So that's a good thing. Yes. I also, in that post on Ravelry, if you haven't seen it, you can go and check it out. I did post the article that I've been talking about with the healthcare debacle. It was published a week ago, something like that. So I did post a link to that in the Ravelry group, as I said. And I did try to run it through Google Translate, and it was sort of sloppy, the translation, but I think that you will be able to decipher it. There were 2 things, and I also did write this in the Ravelry thread. One thing is that when it says journal, that is, maybe that's what you call it, but I think that It's called medical chart in English, but I'm not sure. It's journal in Swedish, so that's the same word. And then also one thing that was the boss lady at this healthcare center unit, whatever, it said that she was on the doctor's back, but what it was in Swedish was that she held her back. So that is, you know, pretty much completely opposite. So that was the only thing that was really wrong. Other than that, I think you'll be able to decipher it if you want to read. Absolutely don't have to. So I did post a link to where I had run it through Google Translate as well, which also messed up the layout of the page completely. So you do have to scroll down pretty far to get to the text, but you'll find it if you want to. Do you hear my stomach? I just had breakfast, so I'm guessing that's the guts are trying to adjust for that. On the article, I've had pretty good response to it. Quite a few people have come up to me in real life. What do you say? Like, well, in real life, and saying, I read the article, that's very, very good. Good work, good on you for making sure that it gets out there, and oh, I'll definitely try to see if I can read my charts as well. So I'm very happy with that, actually. So again, read it if you want to, but absolutely no pressure. Yes, that's probably the lead up to today. So I've been thinking, you know, oh, there's all those things that I want to talk about, and we'll see if I remember it all. And I was thinking, because I've been trying a few times to write, you know, a few notes, and found that that just confuses me more. So yes, before Christmas, since last episode that I recorded 2 weeks ago, well, it was on the Friday, so just over 2 weeks ago. Since then until Tuesday, so for a week and a half, I was completely monogamous with the Still Light tunic that I've been knitting. So it's the pattern by Vera Välimäki, because I really wanted to have this finished to wear on Christmas Eve, and I did. So I was very happy with that. So let me do a little, and I'll insert what I haven't yet recorded so that it'll be right here. So this is the Still Light tunic, Vera Välimäki, that I've been making for a few weeks now. It's knit on size 2.5mm needles out of superwash merino yarn from Viking. It's called baby wool. And this is what it looks like. It is a very dark, it's not pitch black, but it's sort of a charcoaly grey colorway with a little, let me just see if I can lean in right, teal flower color, teal colored flower button in the back. I'll tilt you down just a little bit. When I was wearing this on Christmas Eve, I was obviously wearing leggings, but I couldn't be bothered today, so you'll get some skin. There are these pleats on the front, which aren't really showing up since it's so dark, and pockets. And I had a little bit of a hard time to understand them at first, but they are, when I thought that they were just like thumbs that you then fold in, I managed to understand it just fine. And I knitted to sort of mid-thigh length, and yes, I am tilting you back. I am very happy with how this tunic turned out. The pattern gives you direction for a sort of 3/4 length sleeves. I knitted them full length. It is a paid for pattern. I just thought I wasn't recording, sorry. It is a paid for pattern, so I won't be giving too much away. But the pattern tells you to decrease for the upper arm and then knit straight. But since I wanted them longer and my wrists are thinner than my elbow, I did some additional decreasing.
if you are making it and you want to know how I made it, let me know and I'll tell you. Otherwise, this is what it turned out to be, and I am very happy with it.
Yes, so the tunic, I'm very happy with it. It turned out great. Even though I was a little bit sick of it after spending, as I said, a week and a half of complete monogamy with this. I did have a terrible accident that I solved. I might be able to talk about that someday, not today. But for those of you who need reassurance that someone else also messes up sometimes, believe me, I messed up. I solved it. I'll probably talk about that some other time. Also, I did tell you that I had sort of midway blocked it to see how much it would grow, because I had counted on this yarn, which is a superwash yarn, to grow lengthwise, so that I wouldn't have to knit the complete length of the tunic. So I did block it or soak it and pat it out to dry, sort of midway-ish, to calculate the growth on a bigger scale, and it didn't grow at all. I told you this before. So I went online to order more yarn to be on the safe side. I believe that I had ordered 1 ball extra from the start, compared to what it says in the pattern. So I did order 3 more balls, because that was what they had on the store where I bought it, and then a second, or well, a fourth, an additional skein or ball of a lighter grey color. So I was thinking that I could have the lighter grey within the pockets or something, if, you know, if. But when I was finished with it, I had, like that much. Do you even see how much I'm showing you? That much left of, well, of 1 skein, and then I had 4 plus 1 left. So the 1 in another color and then 4, so it was the 1 extra that I got from in the first run, and then the 3 extra that I bought. So I didn't need any extra. So now I can do something else with that yarn, obviously, because that was my, I ordered it to be on the safe side, not to be worried that I would have too much yarn if I ended up having too much yarn. So yes, I wore that on Christmas Eve, and it was like wearing a warm hug the whole day, and it was lovely. And that is the only finished object that I have this week, which isn't that bad. I mean, it is, it was knit on size 2.5mm needles, and many hours of knitting in it, and I believe it is about 600 grams of yarn in there, so there are many meters of yarn. So I'm happy with that. Do you hear that? My neighbors are, I don't know, washing up or something. The pipes go through my wall, whatever. Okay, so that's the only finished object that I have. Then I have, let me think, 2 works in progress that you've seen before, and 2 new ones. So I continued knitting on this hat. Oh, I didn't bring the pattern. I don't remember the name of it. I did show it to you, and I'll talk more about it next time. So this is a hat. It's gonna be with some cables, and I've only just, so it is a twisted rib for the brim, and I've only just started making the first cable row. So you can't really see it, but it's coming along. So this is out of a wool yarn, which is just called wool yarn, but in Danish, I think. 100% wool, 50 grams, 92 meters, and it's the color 3, so, well, it's tealy blue. I'm knitting this on size 3mm needles, I believe. No. Yes. 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 And I do remember it was a free pattern on Ravelry, but I don't remember the name of it. I will talk about it more next time. And then I'm also knitting on the Linus shawl. And I did remember to move the progress keeper, so I've done that much since I spoke to you last, and that is, whoa, then since Tuesday, because since last episode and until Tuesday I was only knitting on the tunic, so all the additional knitting has been since then. And this did, so let me take a little break from the, okay, no, so this is the Linus shawl, which is a free pattern on Ravelry, and you knit it like diagonally, lengthwise. So it is a very shallow triangular shawl, a little bit, what's the word? Unsymmetrical. Do you say that? I think you know what I mean. And this is also out of a wool yarn, which is just called like fint ullgarn. Nice wool yarn, I guess. 100% wool, 50 grams per ball, and that is about 200 meters. And this is also color number 3, but obviously in another line, I guess. So it's different shades of green mixed in with blues and yellows. So, yesterday, Christmas Day, it is my sister-in-law's birthday, so we managed, excuse me, just making some tea, as usual. We managed to get, like, the Christmas done on Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day it's my sister-in-law's birthday, so she usually invites us over to their place, so my family and her, well, my brother's family, I should say, and then her family, and we have, you know, some cake and sit down and talk and have a good time. So yesterday I had to leave a little bit earlier than I would otherwise to meet up with a friend of mine from school, who've since moved away and gotten married, and they live in Örebro. What is that? That is probably like 4 hours drive or something. So it's not really, you know, go see them over on the afternoon after work. His parents still live here in the area, so they do come here, you know, for Christmas and, you know, to meet them. So they had asked me if I wanted to join them, so their family, so mom and dad, his sister who was home from Gothenburg, and him and his wife were gonna go to the movies yesterday, and they asked if I would like to join them, and so they had an extra ticket, so I was like, yeah, sure. So we saw the Star Wars movie. And sit down, please. That was my first Star Wars movie. At all. So the thing is, my brother, he, since very early age, did know all the Star Wars movies by heart. And I mean literally, like word for word by heart. So it is so strange that I haven't seen them, because he would, okay, so he's 5 years older than I am. So when I was, what do I say? When I was, you know, sort of just on the line whether I was, you know, too young to be home alone after school, or if I would be able to manage. Since he was home as well when my parents was at work, that was completely fine, because he was old enough to be, you know, a little bit more in charge. So what he then did was to put all these movies on the VCR, and we would watch movies that our parents did not know that we were watching, and especially not me, who was 5 years younger. So we did watch like Alien and Terminator and all of these movies when I was not really the age that it suggested that you needed to be. And I turned out fine. I wasn't traumatized or anything. But it's really, really weird that he never made me watch Star Wars. But he didn't. And I've been thinking for quite a while that I do want to watch the Star Wars movies because it is such a momentous institution in our pop culture today. And I've been thinking that I wanted to, you know, not jump in at number 7 but start from the beginning. But as it turned out, I did jump in at number 7 and I had a really good time at the movies. Most people, I guess, who say anything about the movie, and I'm not going to spoil anything, so don't worry if you haven't seen it, but anyone who says something probably has a lot more to compare it to than I do. I can just say, I mean, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. I was not disappointed. But I can't really compare it to anything Star Warsy, you know? But I did enjoy it, and well, it's not a spoil. I wouldn't say this is a spoil, but the ending was very open. So I don't know, maybe they've said that there will be more movies, but from the end scene, I would say that there will probably be more movies and I will probably enjoy watching them as well. So, at the movies I had this with me to work on, and because I usually get really bored in a way. Even if I'm watching, even if I'm watching something that I'm really enjoying, I get sort of physically bored if I don't have anything to do with my hands. And so yesterday at the Star Wars movie, I did have knitting and I was working on it, but when looking back, I do think that I could probably have gone through the movie without being bored, without having the knitting. So that's a very good, what do you say? Very good critique. That is not the word that I mean, but you know what I mean, right? So I was working on that and I had a good time. And those are the works in progress that you have seen. On Christmas Eve, I did start a new sweater. So the night before Christmas Eve, I set up my Swift and my yarn winder, and I started to cake up this yarn. You can see it here. I've shown it to you before. I bought this on Öland this summer. When it was in the skein, or in the hank, I thought that the blue parts would be more speckled throughout the grey, and not this. Well, this is almost like a gradient. You know what I mean? It's not really a gradient, but yeah, very long repeats. So I was a little bit not disappointed, but I had to rethink what it looked like in my head. So I had 5 skeins of this, or 5 hanks, and so I have the second 2, or the next 2 in here, and the 5th. When I was working it, I noticed first that there was like a break in it, and I was like, well, you know, if it's one knot in there or something, I'll just make it work, it doesn't really matter. But as I was winding it up, it just broke and broke and broke, and the yarn was so, what's the word, brittle? And it just broke and broke and broke, and I tried to detangle it, and because I'm just a little bit stubborn, I did actually throw some of it away because it just wouldn't work. And so I was disappointed. I do think that 4 skeins will be enough. So I was thinking, you know, I'll just work up the 5th, so, because there were, you know, some lengths of it that were fine. So I was thinking, you know, I can have that as, well, if I do need some endy bits, I guess, just to finish or something. But it was very frustrating. And then I cast this on, and I was knitting on this on Christmas Eve. and I don't think I knitted anything on this since Christmas Eve, so all of this was Christmas Eve, I believe. Anyway, and so then I just mentioned it to Mom because she was asking what I was doing, and so I mentioned, well, the fifth skein that I was winding up, it just broke. So she asked, are you gonna go back with it, or and so this is, as I said, this was bought on Öland where we were this summer, and that's not really, that's pretty far away, so it's like, I'm not gonna go there and to be like get in contact with them on the internet and then have things shipped, and I was like, I don't know if it's worth the effort, really. But then my mom mentioned that, well, she and Dad are going there in like 3 weeks to Öland, so I was like, well, are you planning on going past the wool spinnery and wool center? She was like, yeah, I think we are. So I did give that 5th skein to Mom yesterday so that they will bring it and see if they can give it back and get something, because that yarn was not good. Which happens sometimes. I mean, I'm not upset with the yarn brand or anything. Well, excuse me. So this, as I said, I started. It is going to be a top-down sweater with raglan increases. So I've started them. You can see probably right there. So I haven't really gotten very far. And with the, so I was thinking that, well, I thought that the blue was going to be more speckled throughout the yarn. So I was thinking that I would have to alternate skeins close-ish to where the first skein would end, and I would have to start the second one. But with these more long stripes, I decided to knit 2 rows and alternate all throughout. So you can see her from the top. It is very stripy, and then down here it's much less contrast. And I do think that the blue is, so this is the one where it started out with grey, and so the blue is coming here in just a few rounds. So then it will be more of this contrast, high contrast again. And I quite like it so far anyway. And I think it's gonna be nice. My plan for this, so I am not following a pattern. My plan for this is as I said, top down, raglan increases, and then I'm thinking to make it a bit bulky or boxy with no real shaping and with positive ease. I will have some shaping in the sleeves, because I mean, I want to have some positive ease up on my upper arm, and if I don't do any shaping, it's gonna be huge on the wrists. So there will be some shaping in the sleeves, but not to be tight fitting. Yeah. And that's how far I've gotten so far. And I've been really, I've had this sweater in my head for quite a while now, and I'm really looking forward to make it, and I really do like it. But as I said, when the yarn turned out to be not what I had pictured, it was just, that little, I wasn't disappointed, but it was just, that little resetting of the idea. And then yesterday, I started, so last Saturday before Christmas, me and Patrick and 2 of our friends went to Gothenburg to go to the Christmas fair at Liseberg, which is the largest amusement park we have in Sweden. And they put on a really grand Christmas fair with all of these lights in the trees and fake snow and music and performances. It's magical. So we went there, and I had brought a mitten that I've made, which is like one large mitten with 2 cuffs, so that you can hold hands in a mitten with someone that you care for. And so these other 2 that we were, going with saw it, and they were like, "We want one of those." So I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll make you one." So I did cast this on yesterday, and it's this far already. It is a sock yarn, like a thicker sock yarn. I'm knitting this on size 3.5 milliliters. The yarn calls for 4 to 4.5, but I'm a pretty loose knitter, so I always go down. What was I going to say? Yeah, so it works up quickly. So you can see here are 2 cuffs and some ends that need to be woven in. And then I joined them together in the middle here with a 3 needle bind off for 10 stitches. So 1 cuff, I'll try to share my recipe. I made 1 cuff, you can see, slightly larger, because I think that he has larger wrists than she does. So this is 44 stitches in circumference, and this is 40 stitches. And then I made this just a little bit taller. So there's a 1x1 rib first, and then I made like 2 rows of plain stockinette before I joined them together. So then I did a 3 needle bind off over 10 stitches here in the middle, and now I'm just working round and around and around in stockinette, or stocking stitch if you will. And then I will decrease into, well, not a super pointy point, but sort of as a mitten, so it's kind of looks a little bit as a mitten. Yeah, I've made this before in different variations. Once I made it as a wedding gift, so I made them the middle mitten, if you will, and then 1 mitten each. And once I made a pair of these, or a set of these, to another friend's, to another friend's. Yes, that's exactly what I did. Excuse me, I just really, to another friend's. Okay, so I had made, what did I do? I think I made for him, so the larger size was stockinette and a quite pointy tip of the mitten. And for her I made a seed stitch mitten and a rounded, like a hat decrease, you know, where it's completely rounded, top of the mitten. So then the middle mitten, I made half of it in seed stitch and half of it in stockinette, and then I fudged around the decreases for the top of it, that it also reflected the separate mittens for the top, but just before it, you know, at one point you have too few stitches to do any sort of shaping other than just decreasing, if that makes any sense. So there are, and I made a pair that was like striping in the same sequence. You can make a lot of different variations. They asked for just a black one because they're other mittens, because they just wanted the middle one. And their gloves were black, so they wanted a black one to match their gloves. So I'm making this very plain. But there are lots of variations you can make on that one, and for the ones that I've gifted before, they have been very much appreciated. So that's a tip for you if you want to make something that is, I mean, it's pretty quick and it's pretty easily done, but it is highly appreciated. So that's a quick gift tip. And that's all the works in progress that I have, if I'm glancing over. So, on Thursday we celebrated our Christmas, as I said, and I got some lovely gifts, and I I gave some what I consider to be quite lovely gifts as well. I was very happy to give, and my family was saying sweet words. So I will edit in at the end of this episode a little clip that I did film before Christmas, before I wrapped the gifts, of all the knitted stuff that I gifted this year. So you will see that. I think I think I said that in that movie again, or in that clip, that I think you've seen all the things throughout the year, but I didn't say that they were gonna be Christmas gifts for someone in case they were watching. So you'll see that. I did get something that I actually had ordered, and I didn't open it at that point, but I gave it to my mom to give to me at Christmas. So it has been kind of ruffled up, the tag, but it's a Gothard Creations yarn. It's 100% superwash blue faced Leicester, 400 meters, and the colorway is called Woodland, and it's delicious. So I ordered this from Gothard Creations on Etsy, along with some stitch markers. And my mom said, because I mean I had ordered it, I haven't seen it other than on their webpage, and she was like, there was something else, wasn't there? I was like, yeah, there were some stitch markers. Yeah, I knew there was something else, but I can't find them. They'll show up eventually. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. But I did order also some stitch markers, like the rings with, you know, a little stone over the join in the metal ring. And the stone was in a green color as well, so that it would go with this loveliness. And the tag just looks really sad, but it's been packaged in a few different packages at this point, so I was very, very happy to get this for Christmas. I also got from my parents a gift card. Is that how you say it? I guess so. To the yarn store where I go. I can get a good, decent sweaters quantity for that amount. If 500 kronor, I don't know what that is in different currencies. So I was very happy for that. And then today, after I had had a massive sleep-in this morning, I saw on my phone that the friend that I met with yesterday had called me like 5 times, so I called him back. And he was like, are you at home? I was like, yeah, what? Go out the door and look to the right. I was like, yeah, okay. So I, you know, got something on me and walked out the door, and there was this massive bag with bunch of packages in it. I was like, what's this? And so he said, excuse me, him and his wife. So I've been sending them, I mean, I like them. Their birthday. So her birthday's in July and his birthday is in August. And sometimes sort of September, I usually remember that, oh, I didn't send them anything, like more than a, you know, text for their birthdays. And then for a few years now, I've sort of, at the beginning of fall, I've sort of realized I want to give them something. So I have sent them a package, you know, sort of early fall for like late Christmas, late birthday. And this year I did send them mittens and a hat and a pair of socks, I think. So I did write something like, well, it's too late for birthdays and too early for Christmas, but it's now that it's getting cold, so I don't want to wait until Christmas, something like that. So he said, well, you've sent so much good stuff to us, so we wanted to give you something. So they were giving me, and I just moved it over to this little basket. This is just crazy. So he said it's going to be for the 12 days of Christmas.
And so it was supposed to start yesterday, but they had forgotten it yesterday. So today I got to open 2 of the packages, and they are numbered. So the first one that I did open today, which was for yesterday then, was this cup. It's a pink, and you can see there's a golden rim that I'm currently drinking from. And today's gift was this tea, which is organic. It's called Winter with apple and, well, it's not caramel in English, but it's sort of that. And as I was, looking over the packages to find the right numbers, I can tell that there are more teas coming. There were more packages shaped like this and with that sound. So I haven't even gotten all of my Christmas gifts yet. That's just amazing. I got some more tea as well before Christmas, at Christmas, that I've already had, and I got 2 books of random facts of the QI series. I can't even remember. I was very, very happy with the gifts that I received over Christmas anyway. So this will be the last episode of this year, 2015. I will go to Stockholm over New Year's and be away for a few days. So next week's episode will probably be a little late as well, but I am aiming to record. I'm not gonna do like goals or make New Year's resolutions, but one thing that I was thinking about this morning actually, or yesterday evening and today, is that a goal of mine is that I want to knit from stash. And I must say, I am not shaming anyone for having a large stash or anything of that sort, but the way, like, my tiny apartment can't hold very much yarn, so I have a pretty small stash, but it is very, very cramped at the moment. I can't really house any more yarn, so I need to knit down from the stash. That is something that I am starting to be a little bit stressed over, actually. And that's not good, because knitting and yarning should just be, relaxing and fun. So I am not saying I won't buy any more yarn, because as I said, my stash is not very big. So if I want to knit something specific, I might have to buy yarn for that. And also, as I said, I got that gift card to the yarn store, and I will use that. But one of my goals, I guess, is to really knit from stash. So I need to start thinking. So first priority for a while now has been to finish the tunic, and then, as I said, I had the other wool sweater in mind for quite a while now, so I really wanted to cast that on. And then, of course, we always have a lot of things that we want to knit, right? But I don't really have plans for what I want to make later. So, excuse me, I will have to, I want to take some time now to think about what I can do with the yarn that I have in stash, so that I can reduce it to something a little bit more manageable with my current living situation. So again, I'm not shaming anyone for having a large stash, absolutely not. So, you might have guessed by now that I really do enjoy Christmas, but with Christmas starting very early, and then with, again, my sister-in-law's birthday being on Christmas Day, and then I am really trying to focus on that being her birthday and not Christmas Day / her birthday, but that's her birthday. So after that, I am sort of done with Christmas. So today I will do my weekly clean of my flat. So I will take my tree down, and I probably leave some of the decorations, like the lights and stuff, for a little bit longer, but most of the Christmas stuff is actually going down. So I wanted to mention before, because I've been thinking about this so many weeks now and forgotten about it when we were speaking, but look at this. So again, this is a sticker on the wall, this is not a tree. I know someone said that he thought it was a real artificial tree, but it is a sticker. Look at this ball. Can you see it from over there? I don't really dare to move the camera around, but this is like a traditional Christmas, like the glass, well, they're not glass anymore, and it's shaped like a mitten. So here's a heart, and there's like this prism shape or something, and a star, but this is a mitten. I just love that. I want one of those for realsies. And I've been looking, I haven't found one yet, but that is just adorable. I've been really enjoying watching that. And I've been wanting to mention that for, well, since I put it up, but I've forgotten it every single episode. So, today I remembered it just before it's going down. I got an eyelash in my eye. So, that's all for today. As I said, I will edit in the little clip of me showing the Christmas gifts that I gifted. And again, I'm assuming that next week's episode will be slightly delayed, but I am again planning on still making it sort of on schedule. So I do wish you all a lovely continued, well, these 12 days of Christmas. I am obviously doing the 12 days of Christmas, even though most of the Christmas stuff are going down, because that's just lovely. And have a lovely time and a happy new year. I do hope that you will have, a lovely time. Yeah. Don't beat yourself up over not having, what do you say, fulfilled your last New Year's resolutions, and be kind to yourself if you are making any New Year's resolutions. I will talk to you next time, and I do hope that you take care of yourselves and that you are kind to yourselves and one another. And again, if you want to find me, I'm sjomajlin on Instagram and Ravelry, and here on YouTube. If you want to comment or hit the thumbs up or subscribe, please do that, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi! By the magic of pre-recording, it's not actually Christmas yet, at least not when I'm recording this. I wanted to show you guys the knitted stuff I am going to gift at Christmas, as Christmas gifts. So obviously I'm pre-recording this so that the people won't know if they watch this until afterwards. And I have shown you all of these things before, but not said that they were gonna be Christmas gifts. So, and I've just lined it all up here because I'm starting to wrap the gifts, so I need to show you guys before I actually wrap them. I don't know where to start. Let's start with the two biggest things. And these are obviously two of the same. These are companion cubes from the game Portal that I've been working on this fall. And I've said that they were gonna be Christmas gifts. So one is for my brother and one is for Patrick. Yeah. Oh, almost dropped it. I'm not really gonna talk to length about the different things and the yarns and stuff, because I've talked about them before when I was making them. So, yes. Next out are these two little fellas. It's Totoro and it's Pikachu. You can see the lightning bolt shaped tail there as well. So these will be for my nephews, or they will get one each, and hopefully they like them. Next out, also for my nephews, are these. There are two of the same way to use, I guess. Both of these are out of my hand spun, and you can actually just see my wheel right here. So what these are is something that I never learned what they were called. But let me pop it on. So you can wear it like a cowl with these drawstrings. So this is maybe just a little bit small for me, but again, they are for my nephews. But then you could also pull it up and tie a knot without looking and pull it closed up there. Oh, my hair is sticking out. And then you could wear it as a hat, obviously. So I made two of those. So it's the same general design, but I did different things. So obviously on this one it's these buntings. And on this one I just made it, the yarn is variegated, and there is a panel of, and I'm trying to catch the light, there is a panel of moss stitch on that. So, oh, and I've got fiber in my nose. Let me just untie that so that it won't be squished up too badly. And then we have 3 pairs of mittens that will be gifted. First out are a pair of Gudrun mittens. These will be for my mom. Her favorite color is green, and you might be able to see that the striping yarn is green and white. The lighting isn't the best, but it is what it is. These were I don't know. The thought just completely vanished. The second pair of mittens will be for my brother. So they are kind of big on my hands. These are, don't remember what they're called, but they are from the unofficial Harry Potter knits collection. So you can see there are owls on the back, and then there are spells written on the palms of the hands. But they are, you can read them like this. So it says expecto patronum, for example. So if I would hold it up like this, you can see expecto patronum on the very bottom. But for you it will be patronum expecto, because I'm holding the hands up. And then I really like these thumbs. It's just like sort of owl pattern on them. Yes. I think that he's going to love them. Hopefully. And then the third pair of mittens are the twined mittens that I knitted earlier. No, I was gonna say earlier this fall, but this was pretty much almost summer. So these will be for my sister-in-law, my brother's wife. And yes, you've all seen them before, right? And well, in most of the things I've sewn these labels in as well. Can you see that it says handmade by Maya? And it's easier to show you guys on that, but they are actually in the mittens as well, but I folded them double. Ah, fiber! And then I have a pair of fingerless mittens. These will actually be for my sister-in-law's birthday. She and Jesus have the same birthday. So yeah, these won't be Christmas gifts, but they will be gifts at Christmas time. So these are the sort of lacy fingerless mittens that I knitted out of handspun. Just for like indoor wear or springtime. And then there is a... what was that? I don't know. Bib style cowl with the same... oh, the hair. With the same lace motif. And it's knitted... you started off knitting it as a triangular shawl with the central spine and increases on both sides, and then it's joined in the round to form a cowl. So that is a bit of a kit or a set for her. And then I made 4. I forgot to find the 4th. Never mind. 4 bookmarks out of the Blue Tit colorway from West Yorkshire Spinners. So these will be for various family members. So I did write these little tags on them that says, but in Swedish, that it is a bookmark and it's called Blue Tits, but in Swedish, and it's blue-faced Leicester wool from West Yorkshire Spinners. Because I think that my family is going to enjoy knowing that, because my family is kind of in love with most things British. And the main thing that I did knit out of the Blue Tit yarn, I won't be trying it on with my hair in a bun, but this is the Morgan hat. So it is... how can I even show you? Okay, here goes. But I have a bun up high. So just imagine that's sort of flat. And then it has this... what do you say? I don't know what it's called. Beak? That's on a bird. You see what I mean though, right? So there's actually some plastic in there to keep it not too floppy. And then it's folded over. Yeah. And that is, as I said, the Blue Tit colorway again. So this is for my dad for Christmas. Hopefully he'll like it. And the last thing that I am going to gift are a pair of skew socks with the hair. No, I'm not gonna gift it with the hair, hopefully. So this is sort of a light pastel-y colored stripy yarn. And the skew socks are really hard to show off, but they are knitted, slanted, well, skewed on the bias, and then the heels are crazy. So they are kind of hard to show off. But and these are out of a cotton mix, cotton blend yarn. So they were kind of interesting to knit up, but I think they are gonna wear really good. So these are for my mom for Christmas. Yes. And that's all the things that I'm planning on gifting. Right at this point, as I said, there is quite a while left until Christmas, so I might come up with another idea of something that I want to make. And my plan is, since it, again, is kind of a long time left to Christmas, is that I'm gifting myself a lot of selfish knitting time. So yes, Merry Christmas!